that the role of the leader is to help people make the transition from their fear into their desire to grow up. And the way to do this is to make education entertaining. I started out as Lingo the Drifter, the balladeer from the mountains, and used that in order to get this mountain here. And anybody who comes up on this hill here knows that we all put our pants on one leg at a time. Well, some of us don't. But just to be a charismatic, to say, follow me, there is no way but me, that's bullshit. We don't know what the way is. We're all blundering in our own way. So this essentially is what I'm doing here, is just helping people find out that they are the way, because your way is not my way, and my way surely is not your way.
Rye whiskey, whiskey, I cried. If I don't get some whiskey, well, I think I will die. Well, it's a beefsteak when I'm hungry, rye whiskey when I'm dry, the greenbacks when I'm hard up, and religion when I die. Come on, can you harmonize?
Can I harmonize? I'm just waiting for somebody to ask me.
Jack a you grab my poor pockets of silver and gold. If the ocean was whiskey and I was a duck, I'd be like the bottom and never come home.
Ow, bow, beetle, bottle, bottle, beetle, bow, bow, bow.
Rye whiskey, I cried. If I don't get rye whiskey, I surely will die. Good water for me. Oh, cool water has set my soul free. With the whiskey and beer, sir, I want.
My name is T.D. Lingo. T.D.A. Lingo. Theocharis Docha Anthropotis Lingo. And the reason I am here is because I have gone to 4 different universities asking the same question. Why did I have to kill my brother during the war? And the answers always came out the same. It has to do something with human motivation, and human motivation originates in the brain, and the research hasn't been done yet, so you'd better get out of here, out of this university, and go do it yourself. So I did. Went out and figured, if I'm going to do research, got to have a place to do it. Wanted a little top of the mountain. Said, well, ain't got no money for it, can't buy it. So God, if you ain't pretty, you better be smart. So I knew 9 folk songs and 3 chords on a guitar, and one of my girlfriends wrote a letter to Groucho Marx and said, hey, there's this fella out here in Colorado you ought to talk to. So I ended up on Groucho Marx's program, You Bet Your Life. We had a good time singing about raw whiskey, I cried. You don't get raw whiskey, I surely will die. Good Lord, hell!
Well, there's folk songs for children, too, and there's folk songs when you got the wide smile across your face and...
you doing here?
So from there, they took me to New York City and put me on another TV show, and they're paying me $2,000 an hour. Tried to talk them into letting me work a 40-hour week, but they wouldn't let me. So after the summer replacement series was over, well, then I cashed my check. I didn't trust them, and got 2 paper shopping bags full of $20 bills, and came out to Colorado and shopped around and found out you could buy a whole mountain for that amount of money. Gave one of the shopping bags to the Internal Revenue Service. So that was back in 1957, and retired then, and been doing research since then, which is 22 years, and just got this raw piece of land up here, and in the beginning, and since that time, why, there have been about 30 of us that have been doing primary research on different phases of the brain revolution. We're doing the applied behavioral phase up here. The students that come up here during the summer course are participants and learners. All you bring is your sleeping bag and an axe, and then live out in a lean-to, split your own firewood, enjoy life, get right back to the primal impulses of being yourself within the life force.
I love it. I wake up in the middle of the night and I see the stars out here. In the morning, maybe a deer comes walking by down in front. My favorite kind of butterflies are twittering by all day long while I'm making my breakfast, and it's nice. In fact, it's hard to come down sometimes.
Oh, it's very different being in primal nature than from being in the city. In the city, there is no silence. I mean, up here, of course, we have the jets too, but there's a much different atmosphere. No TVs, no radios, none of all those distractions that people are used to. You're really faced with yourself.
The thing for me about being in primal nature is that it is the one place where I can sit down and feel love. When I'm in the city, I cannot sit down and feel love. I feel nervous and like I'm being attacked from all sides, whereas when I'm out in nature, I sit down and just, it's like, oh, yeah.
I think that the great thing about the group is that everyone's here working on their therapy, everyone's trying to grow up, and so it keeps you going. It's like, we're a family, we're going to encourage you to get through the pain and be here to help you. So that's really great. It's not like a negative peer pressure, but a positive support group.
Misery loves company.
It's been very good for me for my growth, too. It's the only thing I've found so far that seems to be the answer for me. I've followed a couple of gurus and decided that was an endless trail. I've been investigating for a long time.
I've done a little transactional analysis and reevaluation counseling. I've done transcendental meditation. And none of those related anything that was happening inside me to my brain. Lingo was the only person who could explain to me what was going on, what was happening in my brain, and that it was something that I should encourage.
He's the best teacher I've ever had, the only real teacher I've ever had. He has an incredible insight into people, just seeing where you're at and to coming up with just the precise gimmick or the precise word or action to help you break through.
He probably has personality traits that put a lot of people off. He's purposely abrasive sometimes. He doesn't want a lot of kids hanging around at his feet insisting that he be a big daddy. He will only play that chip insofar as it's necessary for your therapy, and after that, forget it.